Russia had a crazy plan to sink U.S. aircraft carriers, nuclear weapons. China's development of anti-ship ballistic missiles had raised fears that U.S. aircraft carriers are in mortal danger. By using converted intermediate-range ballistic missiles, originally designed to carry nuclear warheads to destroy cities, China might sink U.S. carriers from 1,000 or even 2,000 miles away. Yet the Soviets had the same idea back in 1962 and concluded it wasn't feasible, according to a trove of recently declassified CIA translations of Soviet professional military journals. One of the documents is a 1962 article, titled Reconnaissance Indications of Preparation for a Surprise Attack by US Naval Carrier Strike Large Units, by a Soviet Navy captain first rank, reserve, named V. Anafriev. The article reflected Soviet fears that the Americans could and would use their carriers, stationed off the Soviet Union's vast coastal periphery, to launch a surprise nuclear strike. It listed numerous warning signs that the Americans were about to attack, such as a mass departure of carriers from their home ports. But the article also discussed the strengths and weaknesses of aircraft carriers. And what's most interesting is Anafriev's take on sinking carriers with ballistic missiles. Modern aircraft carriers are almost invulnerable to long-range surface-to-ship ballistic missiles, since the majority of these ships are constantly at sea and can maneuver secretly in widely dispersed cruising and battle formations. Moreover, it is extremely difficult to distinguish aircraft carriers from numerous large combat ships and auxiliary and merchant ships by means of long-range radar. When reconnaissance aircraft and submarines detect aircraft carriers, they are able to determine their position, but in such an approximate manner that it is useless to deliver ballistic missile strikes against them. Those spy satellites had debuted by the late 1950s, and Anafriev was also skeptical that they would solve the problem of targeting a relatively small ship in a big ocean, nor can a man-made Earth satellite with special equipment solve this problem, since from the moment it sends a signal giving the exact coordinates of any one aircraft carrier, a certain amount of time will be needed for the launch preparation of missiles and for their flight to the given location. During this period, the aircraft carrier will have succeeded in moving far outside the danger zone. The largest radius of the danger zone with an underwater missile burst equivalent to 1 million tons of TNT is determined by the Americans as no greater than 5 miles, and the launching of many tens of missiles will be required in order to cover the area of the probable location of the aircraft carrier. Note that Anafriev assumed that even armed with a nuclear warhead, a ballistic missile aimed at a carrier would be ineffective unless many missiles were launched. His conclusion? Only submarines and aircraft can present a basic threat to the aircraft carriers. Is this analysis still valid 55 years later? Long-range sensors and missile guidance systems have vastly improved since 1962. Spy satellites no longer send back their information in parachute-equipped capsules retrieved in mid-air, but instead transmit targeting data to missile batteries instantly. It's harder now for a ship to remain undetected at sea. The ocean is still a big place, and ships can still cover their distance in the time it takes for a land-based ballistic missile to be launched and to reach the target area. Missile guidance systems are better, but they still can home in on the wrong target. And anti-missile defenses have improved, with U.S. Aegis warships able to shoot down ballistic missiles, which absolutely does not mean that anti-ship ballistic missiles are not, or can't become, a huge threat to carriers in the 21st century. But a half-century later, some of their limitations haven't changed. Russia successfully fires new anti-aircraft missile. Russia successfully tested its new anti-aircraft defense missile in Kazakhstan on Tuesday. The Russian Defense Ministry published a video showing the missile blasting off into the sky, leaving behind a thick trail of fire and smoke. The ministry revealed that the missile is identical to the one that was just tested, and Kazakhstan is already in service with Kremlin's aerospace forces. The spokesman for the Air Defense and Anti-Ballistic Command, Pavel Kuzmin, said the new interceptor missile had proven its characteristics and successfully completed its task by striking the target. Meanwhile, Russia is continuing with the production and delivery of its Avangard hypersonic missiles without any delays. This is contrary to U.S. media reports that Russia would produce fewer Avangard missile systems due to difficulties in receiving required components. The office of Russian Deputy Prime Minister Yuri Borisov confirmed that the production and delivery of Avangard systems with the Boost glide vehicle are proceeding as per schedule and without any delays. For decades, Kremlin has been investing heavily on its air defense, with experts saying that it now possesses some of the most advanced air and missile defense systems in the world. According to Russian media reports, the new Kh-35U, The most recent variant of the KH-35 anti-ship missile was successfully test-fired in late September at a naval test range belonging to the Pacific Fleet. A formation of 8 unmanned vessels was the target used during the training. The launching platform was the Su-34 long-range strike plane. According to the Defense Ministry, all in all, 8 launches were carried out, and all the missiles successfully hit their targets. Developed by Russia's Tactical Missiles Corporation, the KH-35U is a unified, subsonic, sea-skimming, anti-ship cruise missile that consists of its body, an active radar seeker, a high-explosive fragmentation penetrator warhead, an independent self-destruct system, an inertial navigation system, a radio altimeter, an air intake, a fuel system, a sustainer turbofan, and a solid-state rocket booster. With a range of 260 kilometers, 144 mi, it can take out surface ships with a displacement of 5,000 tons. It should be noted that its specs are superior to those of the USA-launched Naval Strike Missile, which has a range of only 100 nautical miles. Its minimum range is 7 kilometers, speed, Mach 0.8 Mach 0.95, 609-723 mph. 980-1, 164 kilometers per hour, in flight altitude. 10-15 m en route and roughly 3 meters in its terminal stage. Its warhead includes a 145 kilograms fragmentation-shaped charge designed to pierce horizontally through bulkheads and compartments prior to exploding inside the ship. The warhead's small diameter 45.0 centimeters allows it to be fitted on various means of delivery. Weighing 550 kilograms, the KH-35U can be installed on a variety of platforms, such as helicopters, surface ships, and coastal defense batteries. At present, it can be carried by several types of surface combatants: the Su-24M, Su-30SM, MiG-29K Cub, Su-35S, and Tu-142 combat aircraft, and the Ka-52K helicopters. The decision to introduce the KH-35U to the armament suite of the Su-35S, a 4++ generation, advanced capability, multi-role air superiority fighter that has become the backbone of the Russian aerospace forces, was made in early September. It has also been integrated into the BAU coastal defense missile system. The KH-35U can attack land targets, including heavily fortified enemy positions, warehouses, and mobile military equipment. This is beyond what its predecessor, the KH-35 jet-launched anti-ship cruise missile, was able to do. Leader, the new Russian icebreaker, is capable of shattering ice up to 4.5 meters thick, which will keep the Northern Sea route and Arctic coast open year-round. The vessel will be equipped with containers holding weapon systems, including the KH-35U and Caliber anti-ship missiles. The KH-35U features a normal aerodynamic configuration with cruciform wings and fins and a semi-submerged air duct intake. It's a fire-and-forget weapon. Upon launch, the missile instantly finds its target and is independently guided toward it. It is controlled during flight by an inertial system. The ARGS-35EX band terminal active radar homing head and radio altimeter provide information during the final leg of the trajectory. There have been reports that the Grand K, a new radar seeker, will replace the ARGS-35E in the future. Target designation data is input from onboard organic and external sources, including those that are airborne, aerial, unmanned, and autonomous underwater vehicles can be used for targeting. The KH-35U boasts improved guidance systems with a satellite navigation update and a more sensitive seeker with a range of 50 kilometers. Its small dimensions and sea-skimming capability greatly minimize the signatures of this weapon that can be employed under adverse weather conditions at sea states of up to 5-6, during the day or night, and while being subjected to electronic countermeasures. The missile travels at an altitude of 10-